honesty, integrity, professionalism, trust.
We were
was a big
really
thing with us.
pleased. We were really pleased with the service. If we called, if we needed information, you responded immediately. You put together an amazing package in terms of presenting and marketing our home. And it made a huge difference in terms of how people responded when they came in.
Yeah, the brochure was probably above and beyond.
Yeah, we
The
weren't
amount of
expecting
art-
that.
Yeah, the amount of artwork and professionalism that went into that, it looked more like something you'd see if it was in a sales office for a lot of homes for sale. Like, to go to that length of trouble to do one home for sale, I thought it was above and beyond.
Yeah, I think the overall strategy is what really impressed us, because you came in and you had a plan, you knew exactly how you wanted to market our home, and you walked us through each stage of it. So we were very clear on what we were getting and how it was going to progress. So that, you know, for somebody who's selling their home, that's really important. You want to know that you're getting the best service, and that's how we felt. So, and the home sold quickly. So
Oh, too fast.
too fast.
Wasn't
It
ready.
was great.
Wasn't ready for it.
I mean, really, from both sides of the fence, and you knew what we wanted because you actually listened to what we said, and you gave us exactly what you said you were going to give us in terms of service.
Okay.
And Shannuna too, like baking cookies for our open house, which I've never seen done before.
We've dealt with a lot of agents. We've bought and sold a lot of homes over the years, and it always seems like the people you're dealing with, a lot of them anyway, seem to have their own agenda, where dealing with Pat was very upfront.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell that she had your interest at heart, not what was best for her or best for the client. It was what was best for us.
Exactly.
And you don't get that level of trust with a lot of people nowadays.
I have to reinforce that because we have bought and sold a lot of homes, so we have a lot of experience of being on that side of the fence of, here's a home for sale, what are you going to do? So we had a really wide spectrum of experience that we could draw from, and you were like leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else we had dealt with. And that's really reassuring, this wonderful experience, and it really put into focus what had happened in the past in terms of some of the agents we dealt with. You just stood out brilliantly. And I absolutely was not expecting that, Pat, and we were so pleased. And I mean, we went through a lot of hurdles to get this home, and you hung in there with us, and that helped a lot.
I think the sales agent at the model home was kind of shocked when we walked in with Pat. She thought it was like, well, you brought your sister or somebody. He said, no, this is my real estate agent. I was like, you're bringing a real estate agent?
I can't imagine any other agent ever doing what you went through to make sure we got this home, because there was so much stuff that happened in terms of legislation when these homes were being built. And the company we were buying from didn't even know what was going on, and you did.
Yeah, when the builder couldn't tell us what was happening with the HST stuff,
Yes.
and Pat went out and found it for us. We were waiting, weeks for their accountant to get back to us, and we already had the answers by the time he called.
We had the answers as soon as we called Pat. Yeah.
Well, within a day, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if we would have hung in with this deal if Pat hadn't been so supportive and been so responsive to, our concerns.
Do you
So
remember the agent
yeah.
from Mississauga when we were looking in the 401 or the 403 Eglinton area? And we told him specifically we wanted a bungalow with this and that and the other thing. And the guy was taking us around showing us 2-story homes, semi-detached. It's like, yeah, but this is in your price range. Going, you don't listen, do you?
We've had the gamut of experience,
Yeah.
like from the worst to Pat, who is just miles ahead of everybody else in terms of the business. She's got a lot of experience. She's done this for years, and she knows this area really, really well. And there's a certain confidence in knowing you're dealing with somebody who knows her business, and she's experienced and she's intelligent, and she gets what it is that you want, and that's
Well, even before we did this deal, we had looked at the the older homes in behind the hospital, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of homes that we looked at with the idea of buying it and fixing it up, renovating. And I think because Pat's had a lot of experience in that area of fixing homes, what price should you pay and how much should you put into it before you overvalue it for the neighborhood? And that's what kind of steered us away from there, because we wanted this. If we had bought in that neighborhood, I mean, that's where we were going, but if we had done that, it would have been a huge mistake for us.
Absolutely.
It wasn't to our taste, it wasn't to our lifestyle.
And I think Pat got that, and she understood, and but was really very informed about the market in the area we were looking, and she knew what, here's the limit, and if you go beyond it, here's what you're doing, and we needed to hear that, and she was completely honest about it, and it actually ended up meaning a deal that could have gone through, didn't, because she knew, and that
It wasn't
made the
right.
difference.
It wasn't right
for us, and she knew it. So
yeah, like we could have made you know what? It wouldn't have been a huge mistake, but it would have been. This is okay, but it's not what we wanted.
Yeah.
And we would have spent more there, and had to live in it the rest of our lives before it ever came back to value. So yeah, that sort of thing. There was a bird in the hand that she could have had.
Yeah.
And she advised us against it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it worked out good. Yeah, I guess the other aspect of dealing with people in the real estate market is not just that one individual, it's their team. And with Shannuna being involved, backing her up all the way, bringing clients through, doing the open house, the girls back at the office, if you called and got Pat's voicemail and something was up right away, there was always people there that would back her up. So it's not like you're dealing with just a one horse show. It's a professional team of people that support Pat's efforts.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
Shannuna is.
I think she's just as critical to the team as Pat is, and not just what you see out front in terms of the team, but what's happening behind the scenes, like when you call the office and they get right back to you. They have the answers, they have the information. If they don't have it, they get it to you right away. So it's that whole team that you're actually dealing with.
Even sizing up people to come through the house.
Yes.
The amount of experience that Shauna's gotten from working with Pat, coming in, there might be an open house or somebody wants to come through the house, and Shannuna will tell you straight out, these aren't the people to buy your house, but they want to come in and look, so we have to let them through, but don't get your expectations up too much, because we know they're not, we've qualified them ahead of time, but they want to come through, do you mind? And I was like, yeah, let them come through, you never know, maybe the parents will give them some more money, but...
But there was an openness there, and it came from both of them.
Yeah.
And
you
didn't get that from other agents,
Yeah.
so that was stellar.
Yeah.
Really, like we always knew where we stood, and it's obviously that's the way that Pat has operated. That's her code. That's the ethics that she has, that she brings to the job, and Shannuna shares that same ethical value in terms of how you deal with your customers, how you deal with your clients, and that honesty is probably the #1 value that they bring with them, and you see it from both of them, and you get that follow-up and that same kind of responsiveness from the team back at the office.
So, yeah, would you use them again?
Absolutely.
So
And I tell my kids too.
So I can list the house now?
No, you can't.
Okay.
Because I will shoot you. I'll bury you in the backyard, baby. Would we use them again?
If the opportunity ever had to arise for
Absolutely.
whatever reason, and even going forward, we've talked about doing some investments together. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I know there's deals out there that if Pat refers it and is working for me, I know we're not going to make a mistake.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
on the
We have huge confidence
on the
in
investment
the Jordan
side,
team.
yeah.